I spent 6 years in Broadmoor, and over the course of that 6 years, I've seen Jimmy Saville quite a lot walking about. And he used to come up to Somerset, or me, Peter Sutcliffe, Ronnie Cray, and a lot of other infamous people used to stay. But I noticed he paid a hell of a lot of attention to Peter Sutcliffe. Who's ever talking to him? I used to think it was a bit weird, but then I said maybe I'm just getting a bit paranoid. But now I wonder at times, but now that I know the full story, what was going on. I was sent to the parole wing after a couple of years, and I got a job in the outside party. That was working in the grounds outside the hospital, doing the gardens, doing the lawns, cutting down trees, all that kind of stuff. And Jimmy Saville, we used to look after his garden. He had a wee terrace house there. We used to look after it. And then it was around about the time he was getting his knighthood. The press came to see him, Meridian Television, and they asked me and a couple of other fellas if we'd go on and bum him up a bit and give him a bit of patter and just say, Jimmy, that you looks after us and all that kind of stuff. I said, I don't mind doing it, Jimmy. I said, but I'll tell you what, I want 50 quid at least for doing it for my time, because you're probably getting paid for it as well. So I agreed to £50. Needless to say, I never ever got the £50. So he went to his grave on me fucking 50 quid. Skinflint. He invited us over to a wee party at his house. It was around about Christmas time. There was 5 of us for the outside party, and he invited us over for a Christmas meal. So we went with a wee drink, with something to eat. But Jimmy Saville was on the phone all the time. And I says to him, Jimmy, you're not coming out to give some of your patter. You've invited us out for a meal and you're sitting there on the phone. So reluctantly, he says, okay lads, I'll go over in a minute. So he did come over. And he says, I'll tell you the George Best story. He says George Best was getting a lot of bad publicity for his womanising and his drinking. The press were on his case all the time. But this night in particular, he'd won 30 grand at the roulette wheel, and he'd Miss World hanging onto his arm. So once he won the 30 grand, they decided to call it a night, and they went to his room, threw the 30 grand on the bed. Miss World got in for a shower, so George Best phoned the bellboy and asked him to bring 2 of his bottles of his best champagne. 10 minutes later, the bellboy arrived. George opened the door and the bellboy says to him, George, where did it all go wrong? Bit of laugh, innit? Where did it all go wrong? Miss World in the shower and 30 grand on the bed. Not bad night's work, eh? That was the story Jimmy Saville told us. Then we heard later on about all his paedophile activities, because he had access to the female wing as well on Broadmoor. God knows what was going on over there. The stories that I've heard is unbelievable, but that's to be seen. It'll never be found out now, I don't think. But that's the story of Jimmy Saville. And he owes me 50 quid. He went to his grave on me 50 quid. A commoner like me owes me 50 quid. Skinflint. Noncy bastard.